Right, Dougie, so 2 games into the season, Town were mediocre, I think it's fair to say, against Stockport. A bit better against Bradford in the Carling Cup.
Certainly, maybe a bit cruel to say mediocre, but
Really?
certainly not the performance that they'll have been looking for against Stockport. Clearly, 1-0 draw, you want to start the season with a win. But it wasn't a defeat on the other hand, which it could have been, so there are a couple of positives to pick from it. Bradford, clearly a much better display. It was a hard first half, it was very even in the first half, but Town got a goal early in the second and kicked on from there, and it was a really convincing win in the end. And of course, against Bradford, it's gone down a bomb with the supporters.
Taking into account both of those results, how do you think Stanton will be assessing his team at this early stage of the season?
I think he'll think there's a lot more to come. He said consistently that he needs more time to work with the squad. Effectively he's had 6.5 weeks of them now, which isn't an awful lot in the overall scheme of things. Friendly's told him quite a lot. I think he's working on different systems and different ways of approaching things. They were slightly different the way they set up on Tuesday night compared to Saturday. So more to come, hopefully. Anyway, obviously, we need to kick on and get a win tomorrow down at Colchester. A tough game. I think, in a way, I think it's good to be the first game at the new ground because it's effectively like a neutral ground, really. They won't know it that much better than Town do. So, you've taken away the sort of home factor in a way. The last time Town were the first team to play at a new stadium, they got hammered by Doncaster, fans will remember, a couple of years ago. So obviously we're hoping we don't have a repeat of that. But every reason to go down there with some confidence. I think Colchester have been a bit mixed in the results, like ourselves. So it looks like it being a fairly even game. Sheffield United, obviously, it's a big local derby. They'll bring a lot of fans. I think the Town fans will be up for it, and it's if you like, a winnable game. It will be a tough game. They're a good side. They finished last season really well. Town obviously beat them in a friendly a fortnight ago, 2-1. It's obviously going to be a completely different game from that, but it is a game that they could win, and obviously, a Carling Cup run would be brilliant. A local lad, some folk will have heard of him and know him from his cricketing exploits. He plays for Shepley in the Huddersfield League. A good cricketer, probably not as well known for his football, but people say that he's an excellent prospect. He's a tall lad, 6'5". He started last season at Woolvale Wanderers, believe it or not, in the District League. Moved up to Wakefield, who played in the Unibond League halfway through last season, and scored a stack of goals over the second half of the season. Had the scouts flocking to look at him basically towards the end of the year. He's been on trial at both Blackburn and Crystal Palace, who I'm told both made firm offers for him. But he's a very keen Town fan from his young days, and he was desperate to play for his hometown club, which is hopefully good news for us.